Alright, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show. In today's episode, I wanted to talk on this Renee Good situation. For those that don't know what's going on in Minneapolis, it's pretty much a thing that's been going on across this country where ICE agents have been pretty much just going around harassing people. And what's so crazy about it is that it just seems like that they're harassing anybody. It's like they're not, it doesn't even seem like that they're trying to find immigrants and, pretty much what they claim to be trying to do and stuff. And I'm like, fam, like if you're trying to get, I guess, people that are here illegally and overall, like, they're causing problems and stuff, okay, then that's one thing. But if you're going around and shooting and killing random people that ain't did nothing to you, and then on top of that, they're from this country, what's the reason of you guys being out on the streets? And then what trips me out about the situation, so this is what happened. I guess for those that haven't really been paying attention to the news and stuff. So anyways, this woman, she's blocking traffic. I don't know whether she was blocking traffic to keep ICE from going through, or if she was like already there and then ICE just so happened to go down that road and then they just started harassing her. But anyways, so she is blocking the road. ICE agents, they pretty much they pull up. One starts circling around her car. Another one comes up, tries to open up her door, yells at her to get the F out of the car. She doesn't. She floors it. But you can. So I'm gonna actually just kind of just go like from point to point, like what came out first, what happened first, and all that stuff. But so anyways, so the one video shows when the ICE agents they start walking around her car. One walks up, grabs at her door, yells at her to get the F out of the car. Then you see where she starts driving off. And then I know that some people might not want to watch those videos because it's probably a little bit dark for you. But anyways, so she starts turning and driving away from the ICE agents. The one that was circling her car pulled a gun out, shot her. It sounds like that, from what I heard, it sounds like that she had got shot in the head twice. And so then, yeah, you could see where her car pretty much just veers off to the side of the road. I think it had either hit these cars. I think it hit like a car and pole, or it like hit some cars first. And then it just kind of like the car was still in drive, and then it drove into the pole. But either way, regardless, she didn't need to die. Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like she shouldn't have been blocking the road. And, I guess, like, yeah, if it's because of those ICE agents, I get it. It's one of those things. I'm with you. I don't like ICE agents either. I've never had no interactions with them, but just what I've been seeing on TV, I know that I wouldn't want to be associated with them, But that's one thing that I'm not going to do is put my life in danger because of some ICE agents. It's one of those things where I'm like, hey, if they want to, pretty much put themselves in a bad situation and being an ICE agent, that's on them. But I'm going to mind my own business. Now, I'm, I guess, not trying to, make it seem like what the woman did was wrong. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, she shouldn't have put herself in that situation. But that's the one thing for sure, though, is that I am definitely not going to side with ICE agents on this one. They didn't need to shoot and kill her. Yeah, if you want to, go and I guess arrest her later and bring some charges against her, okay, then do that, and have it where it's like, the thing is this, I would rather see this woman get arrested, go to jail, go back to home to her wife and kids, than to see it where it's a situation where now they're planning her funeral. Does that make any sense? Like, honestly, though, which one seems, I guess bad? Where it's like there's one where she gets to go home and one where she doesn't get to go home. Which one of those sounds bad? And I know that there is going to be people out there that's going to hear this podcast episode and they're going to try to come up with any and everything to say, making it seem like that what this woman did or what happened to her was, it was okay. No. And that's the thing. People that think that this is okay, what would you do if you were in that situation? I guess you wouldn't, really be thinking about, no, you're taking your last few breaths. You're dying, or you pretty much are going to die instantly. So you can't even really have a say so in what you would do in that situation. Especially, and that's the thing too, where it's like people just seem to think like, oh, everybody is built the same. Like you're not going to panic in situations like that. I guess, yeah, there are some people that probably wouldn't panic in a situation like that. But she did. She panicked. She started driving off, or even if it was on some stuff. So that was the other video that just came out today, was that And it was from the ICE agent himself that shot and killed her. So you see where she's looking in the direction of the ICE agent that's recording her. I think she said, like, that's okay, you can record me, something like that. And then then the ICE agent, he circles around her car, walks, pretty much same situation. But that's, I think it's just people were more so focused on her, was that it looked like that she was smiling. She was smiling overall. And I think she was just overall laughing at how the ICE agents were acting towards her. But that still doesn't give that ICE agent a reason to shoot and kill her. Like, that's the part that trips me out so much about it, is that people are trying to classify her as a domestic terrorist. And I'm thinking to myself, fam, why? So if you step in front, because I don't know how many times I ain't got hit by cars in Seattle. So the people that almost hit me when I used to work in Seattle, are those people domestic terrorists? No, there are people that are, the thing is this, maybe she wasn't paying attention. Maybe she thought that she had enough space. I don't know what was going through her head. But at the end of the day, still, I'm saying the same thing. It doesn't give that ICE agent a reason to shoot and kill her. And you know what? And I guarantee and I promise you that ICE agent, he's regretting it. He most likely, he's regretting, because he realizes that he messed his life up trying to be an ICE agent. Like, that's the thing that people need to understand. Is it really worth it being an ICE agent right now? Because if I was an ICE agent, I'm quitting. I'm like, nah, man, I can't do this. I'm not going to have it where there's more people that are against us than supporting us. I can't live that lifestyle. I'm not going to put my family in jeopardy. I'm not going to put myself in jeopardy, because eventually it is going to get to a point in time where people are going to try to start taking out ICE agents. They're going to, bring the violence back to them. If I'm an ICE agent, I wouldn't want that for myself. So that's why I'm like, if you are an ICE agent and you're listening to this podcast episode, I would highly recommend that you quit your job. Go find another job. Trust me, it will be a lot easier for you to quit and go find another job than for you to get outed out because you done did something, or I felt my life was in danger. You done took an innocent person's life and now you done messed your life up for the rest of your life. Because I guarantee and I promise you, there are going to be people that are going to take this situation to their grave. So is it really worth it? Like, asking that question again, is it really worth it being an ICE agent? Because I guarantee and I promise you that ICE agent, I'm willing to bet money that he is regretting, because he probably can't sleep at night. The last thing, and then that's the thing too, where it's like we're just seeing the camera, point of views. I'm pretty sure he had to look right at that woman as he was shooting at her. And that's the thing that, like, I feel like that would hunt most people, because he knows that woman wasn't trying to. If you watch his angle, you see that the woman was turning away from him. But even if you watch any other angle, she was turning away from him. Why did he feel? And that's the main question that I wanted to ask. Why did he think it was a good idea? This woman, so she was driving a Honda SUV or something like that. Why do you think it is a good idea, whether it's a Honda SUV, a smart car, a muscle car, a supercar, a truck? It doesn't matter. It is a car. The car is always going to weigh more than you. It's always going to do more damage if you don't have no weapon, if you don't have nothing to defend yourself. My thing is this, and that, you know what? And he had every intentions on using his gun. Because my thing is this, do you think he still would have had that same energy of walking up on her car if he didn't have no gun? I'm willing to bet money that if he didn't have a gun, that situation would have ended completely different. With him, yeah, probably, trying to claim that he's injured and stuff, but at least that woman still would have been alive. But no, that's one of those things where at first I heard that she only had one kid. Turns out she has 3 kids. You took a mom away from 3 kids. I don't think that it's one of those things that people. And you know what's so crazy is that I'm saying this, right? I'm trying, not even trying, like, I am defending this woman and what happened to her. And people are going to be all like, oh, she deserved it. She shouldn't have did this. She shouldn't have did that. So going back to the episode that I recorded not too long ago when I was talking about Ashley Babbitt, the Trump supporter that thought it was a smart idea to storm the Capitol and ended up getting shot and killed. Do you think she deserved what happened to her? Because if you say that this Renee Good, if what happened to her, she deserved it, but Ashley Babbitt didn't deserve what happened, overall, like what happened to her, she didn't deserve it. What's the difference? My thing is this. if we're gonna get technical with it, Renee Good was in a place that she shouldn't have been at. She was parked out in the middle of the road blocking ICE agents, if we're gonna have that narrative. Ashley Babbitt stormed the Capitol, and she was in an area where a Secret Service cop, whatever the guy was and stuff, but she was in an area that made that agent or cop, whatever the situation is, let's just say he's a agent, made him uncomfortable. That ICE agent, he was uncomfortable. They both reacted the same way and shot and killed somebody. What's the difference between both situations? So that's why I'm like, people are trying to have this like, oh, this, this is okay, but that's not okay. But it's literally the same thing. It just so happens that one of them is a Trump supporter and the other one isn't. I just don't, the way that people, they think along those lines, I'm like, that to me, it just don't make no sense. But you know what? Let's just say this, though. Let's say it's somebody that you know. Let's say this is a friend of yours. Or let's just say that this is your significant other, your husband, your wife, your mom, your dad, sister, brother, nephew, niece, somebody that you overall know. All right, somebody that you're close with. Are you still going to, and this is somebody like you either grew up with or you watched them growing up. This is somebody that you are extremely close to. Never going to see them again. The last time you've seen them is at whatever family get together or friend shindig, whatever. That's the last time you'll ever see them. Do you honestly think you will have that same energy if this was somebody that you knew? But because it's somebody that you don't know, you're like, oh, well, it don't matter to me. And that's the thing, too, where I'm like, eventually, the kids are going to grow up. They're going to get older. They're going to most likely look up their mom's name and see what happened and see the impact that she left on the pretty much the country, because I'm saying like a lot of people, it's like probably the day prior. The only people that knew Renee Good was her friends and family. 24 hours later, due to, an unfortunate situation, the whole world knows her. That's one thing for sure. And it's like her name is going to be embedded in this country. That's one thing for sure. And it's like, and that's, and I feel like in a way, when you look at somebody like Renee Good and you see that, like, and it's kind of just, it's messed up saying it, but it just seems like that she was almost like sacrificing herself, like, well, not like, I guess, I don't know. I feel like sacrificing might not be the best word to use and stuff, but I just feel like because of her situation is probably going to speed up the process of these ICE agents going around harassing random people. Because every time when I see a video of a ICE agent, it's always on some like, oh, we gotta, harass this worker or this mom, where she got like some kids under her and stuff. But they want to get them to a point where they're crying their eyes out, scared out of their mind, and then be like, oh, well, yeah, let's just leave them alone. Or pretty much bullying people. That's exactly what ICE agents are doing. They're going around and they're bullying people. And it's like, fam, how can people look at these guys and think that they're doing something good? And then on top of that, too, so that was one thing that I do remember. And I'm like, that could have been something going through her head, too, is that what if these guys they're claiming to be ICE agents, what if they're not ICE agents? Because that was one of the first things I thought about when this whole situation had went down, was that what if these aren't even ICE agents? What if these are just random people that are just going around shooting and killing? And so it's like, who really at the end of the day? And that's the thing that just really trips me out, is that at the end of the day, how can you really look at her as this quote unquote domestic terrorist, but the ICE agents, oh yeah, they're just, I guess, law abiding citizens. They're just doing their job. You know what? Here's the thing. To anybody that supports ICE agents, for one, I don't want to see any comments from you. And I know that there's going to be some out there that's going to be wanting to comment, defend ICE agents, pretty much trying to rage bait me and troll and all this other stuff. I'm not hearing that. You go on your own platform. If you truly want to defend an ICE agent, you go on your own platform. You do your podcast or your videos or whatever, and you defend an ICE agent. I'm telling you right now, if I see any comments of people defending an ICE agent, it is going to get deleted. You ain't going to have no say so underneath my podcast or in my comment sections, nowhere. As long as if I'm in control of your comments getting deleted. So you can feel a certain way, you could get mad and all this other stuff. That's why I encourage you. You go on your own platform, you defend and talk about ICE agents there. But it's not welcome here. There's going to be no defense for ICE agents on any platform, whether it's my TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, it don't matter. there will be no defense for ICE agents underneath anything that I'm in control of. So my channels, accounts, all that stuff, none. But at the end of the day, if you want to sit here and defend ICE agents, put yourself in Renee Good, her wife's shoes. You just seen your significant other get shot and killed in front of you. And now you have to go home and explain to her, pick her kids up from school. But that's the thing, too, where it's like, you don't even have to do that. It's like you have to go pretty much pick them up when they probably done heard it from other kids. I guess like if the kids are old enough to understand what's going on, or if they see their mom, they don't really be having. But I'm pretty sure that there's probably some teachers that know Renee Good. And it's like it's either the teacher or the mom. But you have to be that person to explain to a child, you're never going to see your mom again. And I know there's going to be people that they're going to try to say some old dark stuff all like, oh, well, she would have left them she would have died at some point, whether it's old age or whatever. But is that something the kids should have to go through? Like, even the times where I've had friends and family in my life get taken away from me due to, gun violence and stuff like that. It's one of those things where you don't expect it. You don't expect that news. Immediate depression. Do you think a kid wants to go through that? So, like, it's one of those things where it's like, you really have to think about the kids in this situation. They're not going to see their mom no more. And I guess, like, I heard where their dad's on. Yeah, I think it was, the dad. He passed away in 2023. So them kids done lost both their parents. To me, it's one of those things where I'm like, if I'm an ICE agent and, and it just seemed like that it would have been the smartest thing for him to do is to not stand in front of a car that's on. And it's capable of moving. Yeah, if the car is broken down in park, whatever the case is, that's when you stand in front of a car. And that's the thing. I'm not even a cop, but the amount of times where I've seen body cam videos where when them cops is standing near a person's car and that person takes off driving or whatever, they're off on the side. They're not like, I'm not going to stand in front of the car so I could get hit. Them guys don't even be wanting to like have their hands in the window so they're not getting dragged down the street. So what sense does it make? And I guess I heard something about this guy where he did get, I think it was either him or another ICE agent, I don't know, but they got dragged down the street. I'm pretty sure if it wasn't him, he heard about it. But if it was him, I guess maybe, I don't know, maybe he might have like a memory loss thing where he don't remember that. But it's like, you already done had a bad incident with cars. Why would you stand in front of a car knowing that this woman is getting ready to drive off? Why would you not move out the way? You were so quick to pull out your gun and shoot and kill this woman, but you wasn't that quick enough to where you could just took 2-3 steps over to the side and let her drive off. I'm confused by that. But anyways, with that being said, I will talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening. Stay tuned for the next episode. Like, subscribe, viewing this on YouTube. Follow, subscribe, viewing this on the podcast streaming service. And peace.